In the 16th century, the Spanish Empire emerged as a global hegemon with vast territorial holdings across Europe, the Americas, Africa, and Asia. Its colonies in the New World yielded immense wealth from abundant reserves of gold, silver, and valuable resources. The Spanish Armada's maritime supremacy secured control over crucial trade routes, establishing a virtual monopoly on transatlantic trade. Through language, culture, and religion, Spain's influence permeated its territories, shaping geopolitics of the era. In response to Spain's hegemony, a coalition of Northern European maritime powers, including England, the Netherlands, and later France, formed an informal alliance known as the Protestant Maritime League. Recognizing the strategic importance of unity, the League sought to challenge Spain's dominance and secure their own positions globally. Through collective action, they effectively countered Spain's naval might, protected trade routes, and advanced their economic interests, a testament to the power of bloc politics.
The members of BRICS have been called everything from the pillars of the modern economy to nothing but a talk shop with a catchy acronym. That acronym stands for Brazil, Russia, India, and China, the original four, as well as South Africa, which joined in 2010.
Fast forward to the modern era, the events leading to the creation of BRICS share a similar essence. In the 21st century, the world witnessed a shift in economic and political power from the traditional Western-dominated order to emerging economies with significant potential for growth. The acronym BRICS was first coined by Jim O'Neill, an economist at Goldman Sachs, in 2001. O'Neill argued that Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa were all major emerging economies with significant potential for growth. He believed that these countries could form a bloc that would challenge the dominance of the United States and the European Union in the global economy. In 2006, Russia took the initiative to transform this vision into reality. The first BRICS ministerial meeting in New York set the stage for expanded multilateral cooperation, and the idea of a new bloc of emerging powers began to crystallize. Building on this momentum, the 2008 BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting in Yekaterinburg reflected common stances on global development issues, reinforcing the sense of solidarity among the participating nations. This cohesion was further strengthened during a significant encounter on the sidelines of the G8 summit in Toyako, Japan, where the leaders of Brazil, India, and China joined with Russian President Dmitry Medvedev in a resolute commitment to foster the BRICS partnership.
Now, staying with overseas events, the first ever BRICS summit is getting underway in Russia. The U.S. dollar's status as a reserve currency is sure to be one hot item under debate, but stealing the headlines right now, the arrival of Iran's President Ahmadinejad.
Finally, in 2009, the bloc's first official summit in Yekaterinburg marked a defining moment in history. Here, the leaders laid out the core goals of BRICS to promote dialogue and cooperation among member countries in an incremental, proactive, pragmatic, open, and transparent manner. Together, they recognize the need to navigate the challenges posed by the global financial and economic crisis, and the groundwork was set for a new global economic landscape. The increasing interest from approximately 40 countries in joining the BRICS bloc reflects the growing global interest in this emerging economic powerhouse. The fact that 22 countries have already submitted formal applications, with an equal number making informal inquiries about membership, demonstrates the confidence that global South nations have in the organization's potential and influence. Notable countries such as Argentina, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates are among those seeking full membership in BRICS. These countries recognize the advantages of aligning with an alternative economic grouping that prioritizes cooperation and development among its member states. BRICS has actively engaged with other countries and regions, extending its reach through initiatives like the BRICS Plus format.
Os países We're going to discuss the entry of new countries, and I am of the opinion that as many countries want to enter, if they are in compliance with the rules we're establishing, we will accept the country's entrance.
By bringing African and Latin American nations on board, the bloc has created a more inclusive platform for collaboration and mutual growth. This approach sets BRICS apart from traditional economic groupings that may not be as open to external partners and stakeholders. One of the significant factors that have contributed to BRICS' appeal to potential members is the establishment of the New Development Bank, NDB, in 2015. This institution plays a crucial role in mobilizing resources for infrastructure and sustainable development projects within member countries. The NDB's impressive portfolio of approved projects and loans totaling $32 billion showcases its effectiveness as a financing instrument for member nations. This success has also attracted interest from other developing countries seeking financial alternatives to the IMF and World Bank. The IMF and World Bank have often been criticized for their conditionalities attached to loans and financial assistance. These conditionalities may include requirements for economic reforms, austerity measures, and policy changes that some countries find burdensome or not in line with their developmental priorities. As a result, many Global South nations view the NDB as a more attractive option for funding their development projects without the stringent conditionalities imposed by traditional Western financial institutions. The potential inclusion of Saudi Arabia, a stable Middle Eastern nation, as the 9th member of the NDB adds further strength to the BRICS funding options. Saudi Arabia's economic resources and stability could provide valuable support to infrastructure and development initiatives within the BRICS countries, enhancing the bloc's capabilities to hedge against risks and external economic pressures. Furthermore, BRICS has demonstrated a consistent and unified non-interventionist stance when addressing regional and global conflicts. Advocating for diplomatic solutions and respecting national sovereignty, the bloc actively supports peaceful dialogues. Examples of this approach include opposing external military intervention in Libya and endorsing the Iran nuclear deal. BRICS' commitment to cooperative and peaceful conflict resolution sets it apart from more assertive interventions seen in some Western-dominated blocs. This non-interventionist stance resonates with many third-world countries, as it aligns with their desire for self-determination and the ability to chart their own path of development. By upholding the principles of sovereign equality and mutual respect, BRICS offers an alternative model of engagement that emphasizes collaboration, dialogue, and collective decision-making.
I believe the enlargement of the BRICS will be beneficial to the BRICS countries, beneficial to developing countries, and to increase the representation influence of this mechanism, and also to garner bigger power of the BRICS to serve the interests of developing countries.
While the United States and the European Union, EU, stand as well-established economic powerhouses, boasting larger individual GDPs, $25.3 trillion and $18.4 trillion respectively. And dominating global financial institutions, the BRICS countries are steadily challenging this dominance.
I think American domination is quite honestly finishing. The general trend towards definitely is away from Washington and towards Beijing, towards Brasilia, towards Delhi.
According to the IMF's World Economic Outlook for 2023, the combined GDP of the BRICS nations is significant, making them a force to be reckoned with in the global economy. With each country's unique strengths and remarkable growth rates, the BRICS bloc is emerging as a formidable player on the world stage.
So far, whenever there was recession in the world, it was brought about by the USA economy, and it was the USA which pulled the world out of the recession. But this time, which country is bringing the world out of the recession? China.
1. China. Leading the pack, China, as the largest economy among the BRICS nations, stands out as a global economic powerhouse. With a nominal GDP of $17.0 trillion and a GDP PPP of $27.3 trillion, China's economic might is undeniable. Furthermore, China's real GDP growth rate for 2023 is projected at an impressive 5.20%. As the world's manufacturing hub and a significant player in international trade, China's economic influence reverberates worldwide, making it a central player in the BRICS bloc. 2. India. A high-growth engine, India, the second largest economy among the BRICS countries, is experiencing rapid economic growth and is projected to be a major driver of global expansion. With a nominal GDP of $3.3 trillion and a GDP PPP of $11.5 trillion, India's potential as an emerging economic powerhouse is evident. Its real GDP growth rate for 2023 is expected to be an impressive 8.00%. India's large and young population, coupled with a growing middle class, positions the country as an attractive destination for investment and trade. 3. Russia. A resource-rich economy, Russia, known for its abundant natural resources, holds a prominent position among the BRICS nations. With a nominal GDP of $1.4 trillion and a GDP PPP of $4.3 trillion, Russia contributes significantly to the bloc's economic prowess. The country's real GDP growth rate for 2023 is projected at 3.70%. Russia's energy reserves and its influence in the global energy market contribute to its significance as a major economic player. 4. Brazil. South America's economic giant, Brazil, as the largest economy in South America, plays a vital role in the BRICS bloc. With a nominal GDP of $2.08 trillion and a GDP PPP of $10.2 trillion, Brazil's economic strength is substantial. However, the country is currently facing economic challenges, with a real GDP growth rate for 2023 projected at 1.50%. Despite these hurdles, Brazil's rich natural resources and diverse economy remain key drivers of its potential economic impact. 5. South Africa. The African representative South Africa, the smallest economy among the BRICS nations, nonetheless contributes significantly to the bloc's economic diversity. With a nominal GDP of $395 billion and a GDP PPP of $1.5 trillion, South Africa is a vital player in the African continent's economic landscape. The country's real GDP growth rate for 2023 is projected at 2.50%. South Africa's strategic location and its status as a gateway to Africa make it an essential participant in BRICS efforts to foster economic growth and cooperation. As a collective bloc, the BRICS countries are challenging the traditional global economic order, offering a vision of a more diversified and multipolar world economy. With their combined economic strength and growing influence, these emerging economic powerhouses are actively shaping the global economic landscape, offering credible alternatives to established financial systems and fostering a more inclusive and prosperous global community. The proposal for a new BRICS common currency, backed by gold, arises from the bloc's aspirations to challenge the dominance of the US dollar in the global financial system. The dominance of the dollar, which accounts for 88% of international transactions and 58% of global foreign exchange reserves, coupled with the potential use of sanctions as a geopolitical tool, has driven the BRICS nations to seek alternative arrangements that offer more stability and independence. In 1944, after the chaos of the Great Depression, the Bretton Woods meeting established a gold-based international currency architecture with the US dollar at its core. The dollar was linked to gold, $35 per ounce, serving as the foundation for fixed exchange rates and 2 decades of prosperity. However, this system eventually came to an end in 1971 when the US dollar was detached from its golden anchor. Various governments, including China, Malaysia, and Libya, have proposed gold-based international currency arrangements over the years as a means to achieve stability. China's central bank governor, Zhou Xiaochuan, advocated for an international reserve currency anchored to a stable benchmark and issued according to clear rules, signaling the need for independence from economic conditions and the interests of any single country. Recent events, such as the outbreak of hostilities in Ukraine, have underscored the BRICS nations' vulnerabilities to Western sanctions and exclusion from the Western financial system. Russia's isolation from the SWIFT system and the freezing of its foreign reserves in the US and EU highlighted the urgent need for alternative arrangements and a degree of independence from the International Monetary Fund, IMF.
After Russia's annexation of Crimea back in 2014, that was the time when leaders in Europe started to contemplating the idea of, hey, how about we resort to the nuclear option, kicking Russia and Russian banks off the SWIFT system? So that was the time when Russia started to putting together the alternative transaction infrastructure.
A new BRICS common currency based on gold would provide a means to stabilize currency values and offer a universal and stable standard of value. Gold has historically demonstrated tolerable stability in the short and long term, making it an attractive option for countries seeking a reliable alternative to the volatile fiat currencies. Implementing a gold-based currency system would present both challenges and opportunities. The BRICS nations would need to navigate complex technical and logistical aspects, as well as potential resistance from existing financial institutions that benefit from the current system. Additionally, there would be challenges in coordinating policies among the member countries to ensure the effective functioning of the proposed currency. On the other hand, a gold-backed currency could enhance confidence in international trade and finance, reducing the potential for currency manipulation and exchange rate volatility. It would also offer a means for the BRICS nations to assert their economic and geopolitical independence, potentially reshaping the global financial order. The move towards a gold-backed currency is not without precedent, as several countries, including China and Russia, have been increasing their gold reserves in recent years, signaling a growing preference for gold as a reliable store of value in an uncertain global economic environment. Ruchir Sharma's book, Breakout Nations: In Pursuit of the Next Economic Miracles, provides valuable insights into the potential of the BRICS countries to become major economic powers. Sharma highlights that these emerging economies comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa hold significant promise for global economic growth and influence. Sharma's analysis delves into the growth prospects of each individual BRICS nation. He emphasizes that these countries possess unique economic strengths, such as China's manufacturing prowess, India's skilled labor force, Brazil's natural resources, and Russia's energy reserves. Moreover, South Africa serves as a gateway to the African continent, offering valuable access to emerging markets in the region. The book recognizes that BRICS, as a collective bloc, represents a formidable force in the global economy. By combining their strengths and resources, these countries can effectively challenge the dominance of traditional Western powers. The BRICS nations' large populations, expanding middle classes, and growing consumer markets contribute to their attractiveness as potential economic powerhouses. BRICS is steadily challenging the Western-dominated world order by expanding its membership, creating alternative financial institutions, and exploring the possibility of a common currency. While the journey towards transforming the global economic landscape will be a long and complex one, the growing interest in BRICS from developing countries demonstrates the potential for a more diversified and multipolar world order. As the bloc continues to evolve and collaborate, it may bring about greater economic convergence and offer credible alternatives to the established global financial systems, fostering a more inclusive and prosperous global community. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of more countries. Stay informed, and we'll see you in our next video.